Welcome back to the Gridiron Expert. Yesterday, both the college football playoff games and the New Year's Six bowl games were released. And guys, we have a phenomenal slate of football games that will be played towards the end of December and into the first of the year. Today, guys, we're here to briefly break down the two college football playoff semifinal games between Ohio State and Georgia, TCU and Michigan, the teams that are first through fourth in the rankings, and the other four New Year's Six bowl games as well. We're not predicting these games yet. We will have individual videos predicting all six of these games and all the other bowl games as well. But today we just kind of want to preview them, some of the biggest storylines for these games heading into the postseason, and just to get you ready for arguably the best time of the year, and that is college football bowl season. So let's take a look real quick. You've got your two playoff games up here. Number 4, Ohio State. Number 1, Georgia. Number 3, TCU. Number 2, Michigan. And again, the committee, believe it or not, for me, got it right. In our video that we put out on Sunday, we said that we believe the top 4 should be exactly this. Ohio State at 1, Georgia at 1, Michigan at 2, TCU at 3, and Ohio State at 4. That is what the top 4 should look like, and the committee did that. TCU, despite losing to Kansas State, did not fall in the rankings. The Georgia-Ohio State game is very, very interesting. You know, it's a game that, if you're Georgia, you feel kind of slighted. You're the number 1 team in the country, and your reward is Ohio State. Yes, Ohio State got killed by Michigan in the season finale, but this is still a good Ohio State offense, one of the best passing attacks in the country. And we just saw Georgia give up 502 yards to LSU through the air in their SEC championship game. Those 502 passing yards was an SEC championship game record. So the Georgia defense still stingy. The Georgia offense, very, very good. But you can't help but wonder, will Ohio State be able to put up a lot of points and a lot of yards on Georgia and keep this thing close? This could be a very competitive game and one where Ohio State could pull off the upset. But remember, we're not predicting games here. We'll predict those later on here in a few weeks. Michigan TCU is the other one. This, to me, is one that I'm actually very excited for. Two kind of new teams. Michigan and their second straight college football playoff. TCU finally making the playoff. They kind of got slighted in 2014. They're now making their playoff debut. This will be at the Fiesta Bowl out in Arizona. Obviously the game here is Michigan's done very well without Blake Corum. Will they be able to still do that against TCU? Continue to ride the hot feet, really, of Donovan Edwards. Significantly also, TCU... They are in the playoff, guys, just by the skin of their teeth, right? They are barely getting in here. Yes, they're 12-1, but the amount of second-half comebacks we've seen from TCU has been insane this year. One more loss, whether it had been to, Texas, whether it had been to Baylor, to Kansas, to Oklahoma State, whoever it could have been against, TCU wouldn't be here, and very well could be Alabama. So the question is, will the TCU magic run out? It ran out against Kansas State, but didn't hurt them any. Will they be able to beat Michigan? The Wolverines, guys, opened as an early 9.5-point favorite against the Horned Frogs. Obviously, that will change, whether for the better or for worse, over these next few weeks. But something to keep in mind, a playoff semifinal, Michigan's already favored by almost 10 points. Clearly, they believe Michigan owns a significant edge over the Horned Frogs. Will they be able to put together a full 60 minutes? Because if they get down by double digits to Michigan, it will be pretty hard to come back from. So the two playoff games are very, very intriguing, guys. To me, I think they're going to be relatively competitive. There's not one of these games here that I look at and go, it's over. There's not one of these games here I look at it's going to be a blowout. Last year we knew Alabama would beat Cincinnati. We knew that Georgia was going to beat Michigan. There have been a handful of college football playoff semifinal games we've looked at and go, it's cool this team made it. It's great. Congratulations to Michigan State. Congratulations to Washington. Congratulations to Cincinnati. But we knew they were never going to win. They didn't really stand much of a chance. These games here, I really could see either team winning. I could see either team winning in these two matchups. So it's going to be very, very exciting. And the possibility also of an Ohio State-Michigan national championship is pretty exciting too. The other four New Year's Six bowl games are very, very intriguing. Going to be a lot of fun. We'll start with the Orange Bowl. Number 6, Tennessee. Number 7, Clemson. We have 6 up there. We accidentally wrote that there. So it should be 7, Clemson. This is an interesting game here for multiple reasons. Tennessee loses their offensive coordinator, Alex Galesh. He is gone, took the head coaching position at South Florida, at USF. So how do they handle the loss of him? Obviously, we know Tennessee will be without Hendon Hooker. Tennessee did fine in the remainder of the year. They crushed Vanderbilt after the loss of Hendon Hooker, but that wasn't something they really, hang your hat on. So how will Joe Milton handle the offense without his offensive coordinator? How will Tennessee fare without Hendon Hooker against a quality opponent in Clemson, who still has a pretty solid defense? And also, what will Clemson do at the quarterback position? Because DJ Uiagalelei clearly has not been the answer. They put in Cade Klubnik in the ACC championship game, and he lit it up against North Carolina, the site that every Clemson fan wanted to see. They finally got some significant action from Cade Klubnik, and he delivered. So will he be the starter again going into this Tennessee game? Could he lead the Tigers to a win over Tennessee in the Orange Bowl? Obviously giving the Tigers a glimpse into the future for next year and what the offense could possibly be heading into 2023. But this should be a fun one. Tennessee, their first Orange Bowl since 1998. Going to be a very, very competitive game. A battle between Tennessee's offense and Clemson's defense, but also the story of Cade Klubnik coming into this game as well. Sugar Bowl, number 5, Alabama. Number 9, Kansas State. The obvious storyline here is, you hear it all the time, but motivation. We're producing this video the day after these games release. There's going to be a lot of opt-outs. A lot of Alabama players that are going to opt out of the Sugar Bowl. They're not playing for a national championship. For Bama fans, this is kind of a meaningless bowl game. For Kansas State, this is a big deal, an opportunity to win a New Year's Six bowl game, champions of the Big 12, to take down mighty Alabama, who, even though they're not in the playoff, people are treating them like a playoff team, and rightfully so. They're the greatest dynasty of college football. So what is going to happen in New Orleans? That's the question here. Can the Kansas State defense flex their muscles a little bit and slow down Alabama, especially considering they could be without Bryce Young if he chooses to opt out of this game and go pro. That's very, very possible. So the amount of opt-outs that Alabama will face versus what will more than likely be a full-strength Kansas State team who's excited to be in New Orleans, what's going to happen there? Okay, we're going to predict this game here in a few weeks, but it is something worth noting that many people are going to be quick to pick Alabama, but don't rule out Kansas State by any means. You take a look at Tulane and USC. This is going to be a fun one. There's a good chance that Caleb Williams might not be playing for USC in this game. Got injured in that game against Utah. Might not be 100%. So obviously his status is going to be interesting as we approach the Cotton Bowl. Tulane, phenomenal year. 16th in the country. They won the American Conference. They're the highest ranked Group of 5 conference champion. They deserve to be here. And this is a game that, on paper you go, oh, USC, and you move on. Not so fast. Tulane, very, very good defense. First off, they have the ability to slow down a USC team that also could be without a handful of key starters as well, players that are going to opt out. Also a Tulane team that offensively has played really well. Michael Pratt is doing great things at quarterback. Tyjae Spears has been phenomenal at running back. Again, this is Tulane's Super Bowl. As a Group of 5 team, your Super Bowl is playing in a New Year's Six bowl game because more than likely you're not going to make the playoff. So you now have an opportunity to go to an elite bowl game to take down a top 10 opponent, top 10 Power 5 opponent. This is huge. Willie Fritz is going to have his guys ready to go. And if USC is shorthanded and they're just not really motivated to be there, Tulane will take advantage of that. They have the talent to pull off this win over the Trojans. So that's kind of your storyline to watch heading into the Cotton Bowl. And then the Rose Bowl, to me, this is arguably the best New Year's Six bowl game on the slate. Heading into bowl season, guys. Number 11, Penn State. Number 8, Utah. The Rose Bowl is always a classic, the granddaddy of them all, as we all know. This is going to be a lot of fun. Utah back in their second straight Rose Bowl after winning their second straight Pac-12 championship. They fell just short last year in the thriller to Ohio State. Last time we saw Penn State out here, they fell in a thriller to USC. That was all the way back, I believe, in 2017. So this is a fun game where both teams desperately want this Rose Bowl victory. This is a big deal if you can make the Rose Bowl, certainly if you can win it. I love the quarterback battle between Sean Clifford and Cam Rising. These are two coaches that are well-deserving of this spot, well-deserving of a victory here in James Franklin and Kyle Whittingham. This is going to be a fun, stingy game. Two great defenses in Penn State and Utah. So which offense is going to be able to get the most going against the opponent's defense? This, to me, is the best New Year's Six bowl game outside of the playoff games. Penn State, Utah in the Rose Bowl. You just can't beat it. So, guys, there you go. These are your New Year's Six bowl games heading into the postseason. It's exciting. We wanted to give you a brief rundown. We're not predicting anything, but our predictions for this will start a week from today. We're going to start predicting bowl games next Monday right here at the channel. So stay tuned for that. And if you want spread picks, spread predictions for every single college football bowl game and every single NFL playoff game, go over to thegridironexpert.com. The link for that down in the description below. Sign up today and you will get spread picks for every bowl game and every playoff game only on thegridironexpert.com. So we're going to have you covered throughout bowl season, the best time of the year. We want you to be here. Like, comment, subscribe, share the videos, become a part of the GE Nation, guys. And once again, as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on The Gridiron Expert.
Yeah.